Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today we're talking about something very, very serious, something called plagiarism. So plagiarism is when you copy and put it forward as your own work, and today we're going to look at what plagiarism is, what you cannot do, and also how you can avoid this by using references and citations. So let's get started. So first up, what is plagiarism? Plagiarism is when you take another person's ideas or words and try and pass them off as your own. So this could be going to an online article, copying and pasting, and then handing that in as your work. That is plagiarism and would not be allowed. Equally, if you were reading a book or an article and you thought that person's opinion was very interesting, and even if you didn't copy their words, you copied their opinion, that too is plagiarism. So it's not just copying and pasting words, copying ideas is also not allowed. And one last example of this would be copying information. If you find some data or some charts online or in a newspaper, and you simply copy those charts and pass them off as your own, this too would be considered plagiarism. Now later on in the video, we will look at how you can reference this work, because doing research is very important and it will make your work much, much better. But if you don't reference information, words, ideas properly, then you may be accused of plagiarism and you might get into some trouble. So next up, we're going to look at some of the things you definitely cannot do when you're putting together a paper, a report, or a presentation. First up is simply copying and pasting from a website. Don't go onto a website, copy and paste into Word, and then make that look like your own work. This is extremely wrong, and you can get in lots of trouble for doing this. Even if you rearrange sentences or change words, if you have copied and pasted anything without using references, that is plagiarism. So please be careful. The same can be said if you're looking at an article in another language. So for example, in Japanese, and you use a translation software and then paste that software into your work without a reference, that too is plagiarism. So any kind of copy and paste without a reference is plagiarism. So please be careful with that. The same can be said if you're reading a paper. So it could be an online PDF that you can't just copy, or a newspaper or a book. You can't just copy what you're reading. So even if you're not using copy and paste, typing exactly what you found, this too is plagiarism. And the same can be said for watching videos. If you're watching a video and you take a quote from that video and don't reference it, again, that's plagiarism. Two more additional things we need to be careful of might not be obvious to us straight away. The first one is if you have anybody helping you write your project, be it a paper or presentation, you must list that very clearly on your project. So if you're doing a group presentation or you're working with a partner, of course it's fine, but if this is an individual project and your friend or your parents are helping you, or if you're using an online service to help you with grammar or spelling, you must list that information. And some teachers might say that this is not allowed for your projects. So if anyone else is helping you, please make sure it's acceptable and please list the information very, very clearly. The second point I'd like to remind you about is something called self-plagiarism. So this basically means copying yourself, which might sound a little bit strange, but imagine you have a business writing class and a creative writing class, and you write a scene about going in for a job interview and you hand it in to both courses. That is not allowed. That is called self-plagiarism. Again, with me, when I'm handing in academic papers, if I've handed in something for review with a journal, I can't then submit that to another journal during that process. Because if they're published in both, that's a big problem. Okay? So please be aware, unless you've been told otherwise, you should be doing this by yourself, and you should only ever hand in a project once. You should not be copying your work for multiple courses or different teachers. Okay, next up, I'm going to give you a very quick guide about how to use references correctly. And if you're interested in this, please let me know, and I'll maybe make some videos to go more in depth into these styles of referencing. And please check with your school, because different schools have different systems. Normally, we'd have to include the name of the author, the original writer, where you got the information from. Where did you find it? So that could be the name of a book, the name of a website, name of a magazine, the title, so the title of the book, the title of the article, the title of the video, and the date. So make sure you write down when it was originally posted or printed. And there are other things like page numbers, journal numbers, volume numbers, and things like this, publishers, cities. But like I said, if you've got any in-depth questions about references, I might try and make a longer video later on. Okay everyone, thank you very much for watching the video today. I really appreciate it. I know this is a very serious topic, so if you do have any questions, please leave them below and I'll try and get back to you. And as I said, I'll try and make a more in-depth video about the different referencing styles, just so you're completely sure about how to do it. But in the meantime, just remember, all your work should be your original work. It should not be copied from somewhere else, and you should not have had help from other people creating your projects. So thanks a lot for watching. Once again, any questions, let me know, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you very much.